Globally, the subject on sustainable development has continued to gain traction, and how nations are expected to live the minimum standard of living in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The maritime sector plays a very crucial role in attaining these sustainable development goals, and that is why on this segment we have been examining the various SDGs and their contribution, particularly Nimasa's contribution towards these SDGs in the maritime sector in Nigeria. On this segment, we'll be discussing SDG 10, talking about reduced inequalities and how Nimasa has been able to achieve this also in the maritime sector. With me on this segment is Mrs. Shielibe Abe. She is an assistant director in the public relations unit of Nimasa. Mrs. Abe, you're welcome.
Thank you, Femi.
Now, still talking about SDGs. We know that SDGs particularly is expected to help to generate and create wealth across nations in the world. Now, how has Nimasa particularly been able to bring this to bear in the maritime sector?
Thank you very much. So today, I guess we're focusing on UNSDG 10.
Yes.
And this is basically the goal that deals with inequality within and among countries. Now, Nimasa, being a regulator in the maritime sector, represents not just its country, but Africa as a whole. And under the supervision of the Marine and Blue Economy Ministry, Nimasa has been able to, first of all, build capacity. And in terms of building capacity, I'm talking about the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, whereas young people are trained and equipped with relevant skills and expertise and certification to ensure that they're able to market Nigeria globally, export our skills and our trade within the country and outside as well.
Very good. Now, talking about reduced inequalities, which is the focus of this particular segment. We know it cuts across social, political, religion, work and all that, Now, what is Nimasa doing, particularly knowing that the maritime sector is actually male-dominated, right? How is Nimasa in its own, rights trying to ensure to, reduce inequalities in the sector? This also almost ties up with SDG 5 on
Yes.
gender equality. So what is Nimasa doing in this regard?
Wow, fantastic. Nimasa is doing tremendously. It will surprise you to know that in Nimasa, 42% of the workforce at top management level are women. And a whole 33% of the entire workforce is female. Not only within the organization, Nimasa collaborates and encourages participation of the women, particularly by supporting the various female maritime associations. So we have the WISTAs, WIMOCA, WILAT, all of them coming together. Nimasa ensures that not only are they involved in policy making, decision making, but they are present at the table where decisions are made. So thereby ensuring that Nigeria is aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, not just ending in 2030, but even beyond.
Okay, now talking about beyond 2030, I think that's a good question I should ask you now. After 2030, what do you think will happen to the global populace? Will these SDGs elapse? Will they continue? Or there will be a kind of rejigging whereby they will add more or subtract some just to ensure that it still serves as a guide to the global populace?
Beautiful. The UNSDG goals didn't just crop up from nowhere. It emanated from somewhere. You had the Millennium Development Goals before. And the beauty about life is that there's a continuum. And as the years go by, the world is changing, everything is evolving, technology is evolving. Nigeria is also evolving with times. So Nigeria is going to key in. No one is going to sit aloof because Nigeria is not an island. In line with other countries, we will keep forging ahead, doing our best, implementing various policies and putting frameworks in place to ensure that we go not just, the world is not going to end in 2030. The world exists beyond. So there will definitely be a rejigging, if I should use the word, of the Sustainable Development Goals. Only God knows what it's going to be called, but we're talking about sustainability. Sustainability doesn't end, so it goes beyond 2030.
All right, that's talking about transgenerational approach.
Absolutely.
From one generation to
the next.
another generation.
Yes.
So finally, what is your word for the layman out there talking about this sustainable development? Some people don't even understand what is talking about sustainable development. What is your word for the layman outside? Because the essence of this development is to ensure that our environments are very clean, the waters are clean, and everything is okay. So what do you have to say to the man on the streets?
Sustainability You know, the UNSDG goals was built on 5 pillars. It's talking about people, it's talking about prosperity, it's talking about partnership. And all these things is to ensure that our life on Earth, we don't go extinct. So it's how do we work together to ensure that we live better lives and live a better life for the generations yet to come. Each one, teach one. You know, we need to also teach the generations, those coming behind, those in nursery schools, those in secondary schools, even the little children at home, how to take care of the environment. We're talking about plastics. So it goes beyond that, because if you agree with me, plastics were causing a serious menace to our environment. And if the entire water bodies are covered in plastic, we won't have fish to eat. We won't have a nation, we won't have an economy to thrive on, because Nigeria is a coastal economy. So to the layman out there, I say, take care of your environment so that we have an environment to live in for tomorrow. Thank you.
Wow, that's a word for the wise out there. Take care of your environment so that we have an environment to live in for tomorrow. Remember, it's a transgenerational approach from one generation to another generation. It's a wrap on this segment. My name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host. Thank you.